This week, man entering witness protection program cuts off all human interaction by moving into level 2 of the Maya Centre. South Australian Liberal Party apparently still exists. And 5AA's Rowie caught on a hot mic making advances on co-host Tim Ginniver.
Undo the top button on your pants and your top.
From the city, where a car attempting to move into your lane is a personal attack on you and your family and should be allowed under no circumstances whatsoever. It's the Adelaide Mail Week in Review. I'm Trent Bartlett, and joining me is a man who by day fronts a popular K-pop girl group, but by night takes to the streets of Seoul to fight demons with his beautiful singing voice. It's Dan Schmidt. Hello, Dan Schmidt.
Hello, that's my K-pop impersonation. Hello, Trent. How are you? How was your week? And what a week it has been in Adelaide.
Incredibly sexist and racist. What a week it has been.
Yeah, what it has been. Kind of. Yeah,
how's your
absolutely.
What's been going on?
Not a great deal going on. I did go on the footy trip this weekend, and I've just got back, so I will not be talking or doing anything for this podcast.
Is that because what happens on footy trip stays on footy trip?
Yeah, and all my material is.
You've used it all. I do want to take not umbrage, but I do feel like it's important to note the type of footy trip and the type of footy that you play. Would you like to disclose it to the group? Because it's not your A. It's not your B. Is it B grade? It's not B grade.
Well, unless the B stands for boomer, it's not the B grade. It is the over 35s AFL Masters for the Tea Gully Football Club. So that's what I play.
What's the average age you got going on?
I'm probably one of the younger ones, and I'm nearly 40. So it's it's a good spread. We got some 30s, we got a couple of 50s, but yeah, it's mainly 30s, 40s, 50s guys.
And what's the average weight?
It's very,
what's the BMI? What BMI collectively?
We would not be getting on any Dazzleland rides, that's for sure, with the Masters if it still existed. But
kind of bankruptcy,
and a few other things. But
lots of dwarves.
Great crew. But in terms of footy trips, not a very subdued football trip. In bed by midnight most nights, to be honest with you.
Well, you're of an age.
We're of age.
You said nearly 40. I'm going to call you 40. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah, cool. But no, also had a bit of
So you can't talk about that. What else?
Well, I don't even know if I can talk about this, but I will. But very sad news. I did have a funeral this week for a friend, a guy about our age. Could have played Masters, but a guy our age. Extremely sad funeral. But then it was a massive funeral too, because he was really well loved, a fantastic guy, great family man. So there were about like 400 or 500 people there at this funeral, I would guess. And a very Adelaide thing happens in the funeral, which kind of made me laugh. And I don't know if you'd get away with this with any other place in the world, but they mentioned the football team he supported, the Adelaide Crows, and someone like behind me went, boo. No one laughed. I don't know if he was expecting, but I know my mate.
Were they playing it for?
My mate would have absolutely loved that. So I'm like, that's pretty good.
Were they playing it for gags, or were they? Was this just a knee-jerk reaction from a Port fan?
Knee-jerk reaction from Port fan, or any fan, or of the other AFL clubs. But knee-jerk. He said he was a proud member. He loved the Adelaide United and he loved the Adelaide Crows, and they were almost going into the next sentence. The person doing the sermon, and someone said "boo" just very quickly.
You don't see quite enough booing at funerals, I find.
You know what? When I die, I just want so many boos. He played for the Tea Gully Football Club. Boo!
It's going to be more of a roast, unbeknownst to you.
yeah. I want that Norm Macdonald joke. No, be sad later.
The one about 9/11. That's all of them. Should we get into the week of news in Adelaide? Now you've put us on that very down note.
Let's do it.
All right, we're saying this week. I mean last week. It's Monday. Tuesday, perhaps, when you're listening to it. No one's listening to it.
Hey, a few. Yeah. And we love them for it.
Upwards of dozens. A Hectorville man has been arrested for allegedly misusing the police assistance line just moments after being released on bail for having been originally arrested for allegedly misusing the police assistance line. The 47-year-old male made 70 abusive calls to 131444 over a 24-hour period. When he was released from the City Watch House, he immediately called the number again, a breach of his bail conditions. Police alleged that the man first rang the line on Tuesday, October 14, launching into a tirade of swearing and verbal abuse. It's truth to power stuff. That's all he's doing. He's speaking truth to power. It's like 70 calls over a 24-hour period.
That's right. I remember this story from when he first got arrested for this, and it was more than that. It was like hundreds of calls a day over several days, and they had to be like, "All right, mate, we're taking the landline away. You know, we're cutting that cord." That's what happened. And then
surely at some point you start doing like different voices and like trying out some new gear. Is your fridge running? You better go catch it type stuff.
I think so, but 70 nuisance calls in a day. Obviously, it would have been part of his bail conditions to be like, you can't call this number.
Yeah.
But I guess they can't legally do that to stop you calling from a police assistance line. Like they could block numbers, I guess, on their end. But what if it was an actual emergency? Well, what if it was? What if
surely after the 30th, you're going to...
Yeah, what if he genuinely did need police assistance though? So I don't think they could legally block it. I don't know.
I do like to imagine the operator is at the other end, seeing the number pop up and going like, "I want to block it, but maybe this time, hello, god damn it!"
Oh no, abuse again for the 60th time.
He's been in the remand center or the City Watch House. Are they the same thing?
Different things. No, different things.
He's been in the City Watch House. I like to imagine he's gone into his cell and asked for his one phone call.
You get one phone call.
For the benefit of this thing, it's a thing in Australia. Just don't DM us and correct us. And he asked for his one phone call, and the cops are like, all right. And then he picks up the phone, and you just hear it ringing in the other room, and like police operator picks up. It's going off. You mentioned his bail conditions, so just like the judge or magistrate has had to say absolutely no calling 131444, which is surely like
it would be the first thing you would say. Like you can't go outside of, you can't leave your residential address. You can't you have to report to the corrections office. Maybe they just forgot to put that on the bail conditions. Like that's what we should have done with this.
Is that normally a condition where it's like someone has been accused of arson they let out on bail and it's like absolutely no lighting illegal fires? Is that usually like where bail goes?
No more murder for 12 months. You cannot do manslaughter's okay. No more murder for 12 months.
Even
without a
Christmas?
permit. Without a permit.
He's currently in jail again. So he's broken those bail conditions on top of everything else. Bail has been refused this time. That's probably
wonder why.
No surprise. Although I did hear that as soon as he gets out, he has got an ace up his sleeve, which is 131444. He's just immediately calling it. Although, like, do you think they've given him the kind of like Marge in The Simpsons when Lisa gets addicted to calling the Corey hotline. Hotline. If he makes it to midnight, he'll be fine. Maybe that's all that it takes.
But here's a funny story. I used to work for a mental health organization, and our number was very similar. The national number was very similar to 131444. I think it was 13. No. It was very similar to that number, and every now and then, apparently, the National Centre would get a call from a South Australian, reporting that their letterbox had been blown up by some kids or something like that. So maybe.
How does this make you feel when this?
Maybe the mental health line is what they need. So maybe it's good they're so intertwined. Maybe that's it.
Some crossover there. It is an election year next year.
Okay,
and I don't know if you saw this. The government just announced that robocalls have been made illegal. You can't get your robots to do your campaigning by phone anymore.
No.
Now, this guy is prolific. You can't tell me that neither Vincent Tarzia nor Peter Malinauskas or some party leader haven't reached out to him to do the legwork for them on the phone.
Hot on the dial, this is your man. Look, there's going to be some swear words in there, but you've got to take what you can get in this political environment, okay?
It's an aggressive campaign, Paul. He's an
abusive campaign, if anything. Yes.
All right. Also, last week, let's just throw an allegedly over this whole episode because there's a lot of interesting petty crime. Police are on the hunt for a brazen book thief who's been caught nearly 50 times on CCTV, allegedly stealing hundreds of romance novels worth over $7,000. Not sure about the maths on that one. The thief, who remains on the run, can be seen in the security footage stuffing books down her pants and up her shirt, in some cases directly in front of staff. The store owner's husband eventually confronted the woman at her car, where she confessed to the crime and started unloading what looks like dozens of books from boxes in her back seat. Now, romance novels, $7,000 worth of, let's be honest, smut. Dan.
It's smart, yeah, and it's a big thing at the moment, the old smut books.
Very smart, particularly.
Oh, is it like fairy and fantasy and the Court of Thorn and Roses and all those kinds of books? This is what she was stealing?
Look, it doesn't say here, but I imagine it definitely is, yeah.
Look, she was already stuffing them down her pants, getting into it quite early in the bookstore as well. So they've caught her. Obviously stealing is wrong. So I hope they throw the book at her, or 70 odd.
Throw $7,000 worth of books at her. Do you ever get caught stealing anything?
I don't think I've ever been caught. I don't think I've ever stolen anything. Certainly not smut books, because I don't even know how to read. Or have a sex drive, so it's very. Maybe I should learn. That's where I'm going wrong. I don't think I've ever been caught stealing anything. Have you been ever caught stealing anything?
No.
Two nerds,
and that's coming from the northeast. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's important to note that libraries exist. Like of all of the things that you're going to steal, books are probably amongst the most readily, freely accessible.
Yeah, but listen, I'll probably get any other book from a library. A smut book, someone else has touched those pages. You don't know what else they're touching at the time. A couple of creased pages.
couple of sticky. I mean, yeah, I don't want to think of if she returned the books. Had they been used, did they just come straight from the car? I think police say that.
Quick is this woman reading, by the way?
Yeah, she's getting through them. She's prolific reader.
This is another person they need on the campaign trail to read the legislation, to get through these long documents around legal matters. It's the way to go.
And when a Liberal leader needs some sort of crisis to disappear, she just grabs it and stuffs it down her pants.
Hey, she can check all of Frank Pangello's sources on his articles, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea. Police say that she's likely to be charged under Code 398.2, which is, of course, the Dewey Decimal Code for fairy smut. I am still trying to get my erotic fantasy book published. It does keep getting knocked back, possibly because I chose to do a Tolkien-inspired 3-part novel called Lord of the Cock Rings.
Hey.
It's no good. Can't imagine why it's being knocked back. The owner of the store says that the alleged thief is selling the books online. She told 7 News that she's had multiple customers message her saying that they bought books from the pants stuffing thief, which seems kind of mean-spirited, right? They're not saying that these books are available. They're actually saying, oh yeah, I bought them from the thief and I'm keeping them. Seems kind of mean-spirited.
She sells them way cheaper than you, so why would I go to you to buy them? I'm cutting out a middleman. Great deals.
Also last week, this seems to be, people are angry out in society, and people are especially angry at the authorities for some reason. A Copper Coast Council ratepayer. Copper Coast Council, where is it, Dan?
on the Copper Coast. Beautiful.
At Copper Coast.
Beautiful
Right on the
place of the
beautiful
world.
Copper Coast.
Well, I assume it's up near Moonta somewhere because that's where they did all the copper mining.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Copper Coast Council ratepayer, which is just fun to say. I'm going to say it once more. A Copper Coast Council ratepayer has been hit with the threat of a defamation lawsuit from the council after he took to Facebook comments section to label one of its employees and I quote, Wank Stain over a parking disagreement. He went on to call the people he was dealing with the fuckheads at the council. I'm so sorry. I've misquoted the fuckwits at the council. A few days after he made the comments, rather, a law firm acting on behalf of the council sent the man a letter calling his language harassing, offensive, and may amount to defamatory imputations.
Well,
I don't understand what imputations mean, but the whole thing just kind of feels like, did you have that kid at your school who threatened to sue people?
Yeah.
Like he'd obviously,
all the time.
Like I remember one kid at my primary school got super angry about how he got out in handball and threatened to sue the king,
Really?
Which looking back is both a wonderful example of like how adults treat or misuse the legal system, but also speaking truth to power and bringing down the monarchy. So that kid. Well,
he's got to speak to the crown, so that's how it goes. But that's a legal term. But yeah, we have been threatened. The Adelaide Mail has been threatened a few times with the old, this is defamation, and I think we're safe because defamation law in Australia is you've got to do a lot to prove it's defamatory, and there's
you sure about that?
There's so many. I've checked. There's so many steps you have to take to, like, if you ask us to take it down and then we don't take it down, then you can start suing. But if you ask us to take it down, we take it down immediately, which is what we've done in the past because we're pussies. Then we're completely fine. We can call anyone a wank stain. Was it Wank Stain?
It was Wank Stain, yeah, and
Stain.
The fuckwits at council.
See, well, also defamation, you have to be proven wrong. So if this guy comes into court and is a wank stain and a fuckwit, then he's free to go because it's true.
Best defense for a defamation lawsuit is the truth and proving it. Guys from Moonta.
People shouldn't be abused at their workplace, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying, and all of those things. He's from Moonta. How is parking a problem at Moonta? I can't imagine people driving around struggling to find a park. Like they've put in place like automated parking fine systems in Moonta.
Yeah, the buzzing metropolis of Moonta. You know what? They do a great pasty, great Cornish pasty. And, when they're coming out hot, you want to be the first one to get there. So that's probably what it's for. Yep.
I imagine this is not the first time a member of council or, say, a parking inspector has been called a wank stain or something similar. I don't think parking inspectors are paid amazingly well. I think they're paid fine. They're not making commission off all of their parking fines. But I wonder if they're just suing all of the disgruntled motorists that call them wank stains, and that's how they're...
It's a side hustle.
That's the move.
That's the side hustle. You got to get a bit extra on the side. That's good. Innovation.
The Moonta resident told the ABC that he thought it to be a massive overreaction from council, who are all a bunch of fucking cunts. So... Finally tonight, it's been a big couple of weeks for the type of people who really like trains in Adelaide. Yeah,
and hey, shout out to Kane's Trains on the Facebook who loves our content. Kane's Trains.
And we love Kane's content as well.
Not Cane Corns, Kane's Trains.
Not Cane Corns.
Unless that is Cane Corns. I haven't looked into it, to be honest with you.
It could be.
Maybe.
It's not hot enough. His takes on trains aren't spicy enough.
Okay.
The Adelaide Metro, I don't know if you've caught a train in the last couple of weeks. The Adelaide Metro trains have a new voice. Have you heard it?
Unless it's on the O-Bahn, which is kind of a train, then no.
It's kind of a trend. They don't have the voice. I've got a recording.
They don't do voices.
Here, I believe.
Welcome aboard. This is a service to Flinders.
Play it again.
So it's like it's.
Welcome aboard. This is a service to Flinders.
He's got a bit of pep in his step.
Yeah.
It's a departure from the previous monotonous man who was in the midst of completely dissociating from his life just to get by the rest of the recording. I've not got a recording of him because he'll just send me into a deep spiral of depression. But I want you to listen to the new recording's voice again and tell me if you think it sounds like anyone.
Welcome aboard. This is a service to Flinders.
It's not the best recording.
No, I don't know. It does sound like someone, a person, but
Sounds
I don't
like
know.
someone.
Does it sound like me?
Can
I play?
No.
Welcome aboard. This is the train to... I can't even hear where he's saying.
Flinders.
Ah,
I'm putting
wants to go there.
a suggestion forward. This is not confirmed, but I think the voices sound similar.
G'day, Brenton Ragless, 9 News presenter and patron of the Steam Ranger Heritage Railway.
You know what?
Right.
The side hustles once again coming in. Brenton Ragless doing the news. Brenton Ragless stealing smart books and reselling them. Possibly. Brenton Ragless getting parking fines in Moonta. It's all connected.
Calling 131 444.
Many a time.
All right. Anything else to add, Dan? You got any other... yeah, great. I'll see you next week or possibly on Friday for some more people harassing the authorities.
I love it. That'll be us. Maybe we should call the authorities and harass them and say, if you don't listen to the Adelaide Mail podcast, you're a bunch of fuckwits.
Truer words have never been said.
See you next week.